This is a presentation designed to show more detailed information about the poster called Blended Learning and Educational Cocktail, Social Interaction in a Mixture of Learning Environment. My name is Alejandra Torres Landa and I come from the Autonomous University of Aguascalientes in Mexico. Before I begin, I want to express my gratitude to EduCaus for letting me be part of this ELI Annual Meeting. I'm sure it's going to be a great learning experience. I'll start the agenda of this presentation talking about the purpose of my poster session, showing the outcomes expected. Then I'll give a short introduction of the theme, so I can talk about a blended learning course given at our university, highlighting the relationship between teachers, students, and learning environment. This last one called the third teacher, what will let us identify some of the physical and virtual characteristics of this environment that affects learning, to close up with some conclusions. So let's begin with the outcomes expected for this presentation session. I would like participants to my poster to recognize three teachers that are involved in learning process. The first one, the expert of a subject. The second one, the students, peers. The third one, the educational environment. To identify the importance and the influence that each teacher has in the teaching and learning process. Learn about our blended learning course for architecture students at our university and understand how to make an educational cocktail qualities of all the three teachers. But what do we understand when we talk about learning? We know that learning is a personal and internal process that happens in any place at any time. However, in an education institution, learning is influenced by the professor that is called the first teacher, but we know that we also learn from our peers, other students. That's why we call them the second teacher, but it's also understood that we learn also from the environment, so we call this the third teacher. At the Autonomous University of Aguascalientes, we understand that information and communication technology helps to enrich learning experience, so we try to incorporate them to our daily classes. Some of them became blended learning courses. Let me give you a little bit of background of our university. Our university is located at Aguascalientes, that is a city of about 1 million people, located approximately 500 kilometers northwest of Mexico City. Our university was founded as the Science and Technology Autonomous Institute in 1867 and in 1973 became the Autonomous University of Aguascalientes. In 2012-2013 school year, there were listed almost 16,000 students in the whole university. From there, a little bit more of 13,000 were listed in the bachelor programs. In architecture, there were 388 students. The architectural program at the Autonomous University of Aguascalientes is designed to form professionals in areas of design and building living spaces with humanistic orientation, sensitive to environment problems, and the ability to understand social, cultural, and technological factors in order to improve quality of life based on sustainability criteria. The design studio is the focus of the professional architectural curriculum. The studio calls upon students to integrate knowledge, skills, and attitudes learned throughout the academic program in order to produce the best design proposal for each level. Students are required to develop different projects that become common ground to open discussions when teachers and students are invited to offer. The University Autonomous of Aguascalientes has a department structure, so in architecture we have the support of 321 teachers, where 72% are men and 28% are women. Those are called the first teacher. Then we have in architecture, as we said, 388 students, where approximately 54% are men and 46% are women. These are called then the second teachers. There are almost 375,000 square meters of educational infrastructure. This is called the third teacher. This third teacher, that is physical and virtual. Summarizing what we have said, the first teacher is the expert, the guide, the one that designs a learning road path, taking advantage of the second and third teacher. The second teacher are other students, the peers. They have the same languages, the same interests, and there is no age gap. And the third teacher is the physical environment that encourages the physical contact, and the virtual environment that breaks those physical barriers. Then we have called the poster the educational cocktail, because we want to emphasize the importance of the social interaction in a mixture of learning environments, how the students relate to information, to teachers, to other students, and to the learning environment. This last one has to be a social catalyst in order to favor the construction of new knowledge. The third teacher then is spaces with specialized labs, spaces where we can give lectures, spaces where teachers can work, sports area, exhibition places, spaces with social networks, personal item storage, individual workspaces, displays of ideas, group activities, collaborative work. In the virtual infrastructure, we also have spaces with specialized labs. We can get into MOOCs where we can hear lectures. There is spaces where teachers can work together, spaces with sport areas, exhibition places, social networks, of course, spaces where we can storage our personal items, individual workspaces, spaces where we can display our ideas, spaces where we can collaborate or have group activities. We have to think in an ubiquitous learning. At our university, teachers complain about the unmotivated attitude of the students. They said that students are not interested and that they are distracted. Maybe because we have inadequate furniture, inappropriate spaces, and insufficient technology. In the virtual environments, students say that it's hard to enter to these virtual environments, hard to move around these spaces, and they say they even prefer Facebook. So we have to ask ourselves if our third teacher, this educational infrastructure, is responding to new educational paradigms. Is it prepared to incorporate emerging technology? To conclude, we have to say that students are influenced for the first teacher, the second teacher, and the third teacher During this learning process, learning is evidenced by knowledge, by the skills and attitudes. So this third teacher becomes very important because it's going to be the catalyzer of these three teachers. We have to see educational infrastructure from the architectural, construction and urban point of view. Dimensions such as documental, technological and physical. We have to see it more than only classrooms, laboratories, libraries. We have to see it as a space where they gather ideas, thoughts and lives. Spaces where people interact between each other and interact with the space itself. So the poster wants to gather all these ideas in an educational cocktail where the social interaction is very important, and it has to happen in a mixture of learning environments, virtual and physical environment. Thanks.